Hey guys, this is iBreak Productions, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make this amazing render for this LEGO Digital Designer model that I made recently. So first off, go to blender.org and download Blender if you don't already have Blender. Also have LEGO Digital Designer. You can build lots of really cool stuff with LEGO Digital Designer, and I recommend that you get both software. Now that you have both software, create your model in LEGO Digital Designer and then export it. Save it as a .ldr file, and this is key. You want it in the LDRAW format. Now go to Blender and click on File, and then click Import, and click on LDRAW, and then the extension should be LDRAW, LDR.LDR or .dat. Now go to the directory and find where you had exported the LDRAW file and click on it. It might take a few seconds and then it will import this model into Blender. So it's going to be looking okay, but not the best. So the first thing that you're going to see is that the glass is messed up. We're going to fix that in a minute. But before we do that, we have to get the rendering engine correct. So go to the top and click on Cycles Render. Now hit F12 on your keyboard and it'll render it. As you see, we don't see the whole spaceship in this scene because we haven't positioned the camera right. So go to the bottom left corner, click on 3-dimensional. Now highlight the camera, drag it around your scene with the 3 arrows. Remember, the number pad 0 toggles the camera view, so you can use that to see if you're actually in, if the object is in the middle. Now when you hit F12, you can see that our object is now actually in center of the screen. Yet, there isn't that much light and it still doesn't look really nice. So the next thing we're going to do is go back to 3D view. So the next thing that you notice is that the cockpit windows don't look good because it's just plain black. So use your right mouse button to select the brick for the cockpit, and then go to the right in the properties editor and click on use nodes for the materials section, and then click on glass. Now the glass color will automatically be pitch black right now. So we want to bring that up a bit so that it's around in the higher white area, so that it's more translucent or transparent. Now if we come down here, we can click on this icon in the bottom and then click on render view, and then we get an automatic render view in our 3-dimensional view, so that we don't have to keep on clicking F12. Now let's go back to the materials view, select the lamp and delete it. Now go to add mesh planes to add a plane. This will be both the light source and also the background later. Now with the plane selected, click S on the keyboard so that you can enlarge the plane. Keep on doing that until it fills the whole screen. Now go to the materials tab again and add a new material. Okay, so first for the first plane, we're going to select glossy. And then we're going to click Shift D on the plane and then add a new material and call that emission. Then use the 3 arrow keys, the blue, red, and green ones, to move the object above the camera. So this is going to act as our light source. Under the glossy shader, go to roughness and play around with that value, because that's going to change the amount of blur that you see in the background. And when playing around with these values, I usually go to the rendered window, go to the rendered selection like I had showed you guys earlier, so that it's really easy to see the impact on changing some numbers. Okay, so there aren't that many things left to do now. As you see, it looks pretty nice on its own. So now that we have decided exactly what lighting values and what glossy values we should have, we can go to the Photos tab. That should be the leftmost tab in the Properties editor, and then go to the tab that says Sampling. Under this tab, it should say Preview and Rendered. Under Rendered, you should bump that value up, and that will make the renders less hazy. So I usually keep it at around 100 for animations, because the less you have, the faster it is to render. Yet the less, but the higher the number, the better the quality. So if I'm just doing single renders, I'll have it around 250 samples. But if we are making a nice 20-second animation, then it's going to take some time to keep on rendering stuff at 250. So I usually, for animations, I keep it at 100. Since we're just making a render right now, you can put it to 250. And it will take a few minutes. It might take a minute or so for it to render this, depending on your computer speed. So come back next week and I'll show you guys how to animate this and actually make a nice animation at 25 frames per second in cycles, so that you can actually create really cool effects with it. This could be like even stuff like turning the model so that you can see a 360 view of it. So come back next week and I'll have that video for you guys. Until then, post any comments if you guys need any help with this. And this is iBreak Production signing out.